Sometimes when you do these stories, you have to wonder if there is people on the other side that are aware that they're being talked about, maybe even thankful. I guess it depends on your belief system. Today, I want to tell you about a lady that seems to be really wanting to share her story and the strange set of circumstances that led to the video you're watching now. So, the best place to start, I guess, is at the beginning. As some have watched, me and Leo went to the Blackberry City Cemetery as we were taking pictures and video. We came across a couple graves that didn't stick out at the time. Some of the people were not documented on Find a Grave, so when I went home, I started adding people, and I added her daughter, Teddy, as I normally do. And when I did, I came across her death certificate and that her mother's name was Josephine Foloway. So I tried to find Josephine to see if I could add her to Teddy as her mother. And then I found Josephine's death certificate. And of course, I pulled it up because I wanted to see where she was buried. Now, when I pulled it up, I saw that she was also buried at Blackberry City Cemetery. So I made her find a grave, hoping that we would come across her grave or somebody else would. One reason I pulled the death certificates is because there's vital information on them, including parents' names, where they're born and died, etc. You can't take this information for face value from ancestry sites. I have learned this the hard way. People often get confused with other people all the time. You'd be shocked how many people I see are thinking someone is their grandparent, etc., that really isn't, simply because of sloppy investigating by people who have added this information. But back to Josie. Josephine, who went by Josie Stepp, was born in Martin County, Kentucky, March 7, 1880. She was the younger daughter of Elias Stepp and Margaret Moore. At some point, she moved to McCarr, Kentucky, which is minutes from where she's buried in Blackberry City. Now, Blackberry City is in West Virginia because this area is right on the West Virginia-Kentucky border. She is showing in the 1900 census as living with her brother Elijah Stepp, who is 22 at the time, and Josie is 20. Soon after this, she meets and marries a man named John Foloway, and it is shown that she has her first child in 1902, whose name is Margie Texas, who they called Texas. Josie didn't have another child that I can find until 1910, when she has another daughter that she names Vesta. Then in 1912, she has Teddy, and then finally Blanche Josephine in 1916. In the fall of 1918, the Spanish flu swept through the area and claimed the life of her 16-year-old daughter, Margie Texas, which was the start of a downward spiral for her husband, and her family. In the summer of 1925, July 7th actually, her 13-year-old daughter, Teddy, drowned in Blackberry City, most likely in the Tug River, as it runs right by there. Life returned to normal for a while until Christmas morning in 1938. It was about 8:30 a.m. Josephine, who was known to wear very high heels and could be heard walking a mile away, was walking on the tracks when she became confused as a westbound Norfolk and Western train was approaching. Instead of stepping away, she stepped onto the track the train was on. She was hit, causing major damage, including a broken neck, a broken right arm, internal bleeding, and a dislocated knee. She was dead almost immediately. John, her husband, would remarry 2 more times before dying at 82. He's buried in this cemetery as well with his wife, Margie Hager. Her child, Vesta, lived to be 46 and is buried near her mom and sisters. The baby of the family, Blanche, well, I'm still looking to see what happened to her, but I know she lived long enough to marry a Robert Schoenwagen at 27. He remarried a couple times after that, so I don't know what happened to Blanche. So besides the obvious tragedy to all this, what is strange is that I have recently got a lot of good information from a man named Brandon Wolford. He will be on a video soon, by the way, so you guys will get to meet him yourselves. But after we got back, he sent me something, and I brought up that I was working on the Blackberry City Cemetery, and he mentioned on his own Josephine Foloway. See, his aunt was married to John Foloway, Josephine's husband, and she's actually buried with him. He started to tell me about how she was hit by a train, etc., but I knew that information already because I had been working on her Find a Grave, but I didn't have her actual grave picture yet. I actually thought we must have missed it somehow, and I was kind of bummed about it. He told me how she always wore high heel shoes and you could hear her coming from a mile away, and his family knew the Followays back then and lived near them. So he went on to tell me a story of what happened after she died, and he didn't know I was actually working on her Find a Grave at the time. Here is a picture taken from the West Virginia side. To the left of this photo would be the trail that his Aunt Kate and his mama walked down to get to the bridge. And this will become important a little bit later on. This photo is from 1942. He went on to say, my grandma, Josephine Wolford, who was born in 1926, had been to church at Thacker with her aunt, Kate Wolford, and when the bus let them out at the top of the hill, it was just the two of them left to walk down the hill through all those trees to the bridge. So this night in particular, as they started walking, they heard footsteps. I said, well, Mama, what did you do? She said, nothing. It scared us to death. But the entire time we walked, she walked with us. And we just looked at each other and stayed really quiet. She said when they got to the bottom of the hill and headed towards the bridge, the footsteps changed directions and headed right on out towards where the Followays lived. And they hurried on home. Now, this picture right here, to the left of this picture would be the trail Kate and his grandma Josephine walked down to get to the bridge. Down where you turn towards the bridge, the clacking heels would have gone right. The next morning, Kate goes into the company store and Josie's brother is in there frantic. He said Josie came to see me last night. Kate says, I'm sure she did. She walked down the hill with me and Josephine last night. It affected the brother to the point where he was actually put in an asylum for a while over this supposed visit. And his grandmother, he went on to say, she wasn't one to tell tales at all. That was the only ghostly story she'd ever told me, so I believe there's something definitely to it. So, as he was telling me this, I had the video up on the Blackberry City Cemetery because I was working on it at the time. I looked up, and there on my screen was Josephine's grave. We had found it, and we had videoed it. And the timing on all this was at least 1 in a million, wouldn't you say? Is it possible Josie wanted her story told that much? Or was this just pure coincidence?
Up that way. We're trying to cover as much of it as we can today. Look at that. Did you get any of this?
Not on you have the camera, but yeah.
Foloway. I've never heard that name before. Foloway. Josephine Foloway, 1880 to 1938. Teddy Foloway, 1912 to 1925. Margie Texas Foloway, 1902 to 1918. Vesta Foloway Griffey. I don't see any dates there.
I managed to put her, Vesta, Teddy, and Texas on Find a Grave, and they are once again remembered. And yes, Josie, your story is now told. Thank you for watching to the end, and thank you for the support. And thank you, Brandon, for your information on the story. It really helped brighten it up. We will see you next time on the Hillbilly Files.